Okay, so the first tool that I'm going to be talking about for responsible decision making is Adobe Sparks. And some of the projects that I thought would be interesting to integrate this right into your already built curriculum is a what if project or a campaign option. So if you want the students to create a campaign based on issues and talk about those issues. Of course, debates are always a good thing, scenarios, skits, but the Adobe Sparks will allow you to kind of create a lot of different presentations, multimedia projects to be able to achieve this. And yeah, so let's start exploring that. So Adobe Spark is an Adobe product. It is online, and it always acts differently than the Adobe Creative Suite or multimedia package or whatever you usually get from like the Adobe Creative Cloud is what it's called, Creative Cloud. So I thought I'd show you the price plan first, and the starter plan has always been enough for me, especially if you're moving things around. If I'm having the students, and the students would create projects in this. If I'm having the students create a project in Adobe Spark, and I like it so much that I want them to have more than just what the free version allows them to do, then basically I would pay the version. But right now you can see little check marks. It only has one little check mark next to free, and that's picked from thousands of free images and icons for your designs. Create from scratch or use free templates, and we'll try to take it to its limit to see if there's anything it doesn't do. So the things it doesn't do is you can't invite others to work on your branded project. Again, this is something helping you design something for a business, to create a brand, that kind of stuff. Create unique designs from exclusive premium templates. So we don't need that. Create from branded templates. Who cares? Personalize any project with your own logo, colors, and fonts in one magical tap. We can add it manually. Easily switch between brands. It's all about branding, basically. So I think what we are going to see are just the wonderful tools that Adobe Sparks had with their watermark, without being able to use some of their branding designs or exclusive templates. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to sign in and see exactly how it expects us to sign in. And it is a Google single sign-on. So we can click on the continue with Google, but you can see you can also log in with Facebook and Apple and sign up with your email, log in with an Adobe ID, which I do have. I'm not going to do that because I have a paid account, so I don't want to alter what you guys would be seeing. So I'm going to continue with Google. But it looks like this is where you would log in with your school account if your school did have a membership to that. So I'm continuing with Google, and it's going to ask me who I am, and so I'm going to click on who I am, and terms and agreements. This is my first time I've been in with this email, so that's why it asked me all of that stuff. And anytime there's changes to the security or privacy, of course, they're going to tell you that as well. The projects are basically making this work for you. The Adobe Spark is just the tool. Like any of these tools that I've introduced in this series, you could probably use for responsible decision making. But I thought Adobe Spark worked well for doing like a campaign speech or proposing some issues or resolving conflicts in a story, doing a skit, and then the what if project. So if you had a decision between this, what would you do? What would you do in this scenario? So I think that helps students make responsible decisions. And this could connect to a time period. It could be with a science experiment. This is where you are in this lab research. You lose this step. What are your ways of fixing that or resolving that issue? And what decision are you going to make? So any scenario where you would have to think through to fix something or to make a decision to move in a different direction, pros, cons, that kind of stuff. See, Google Keep would be perfect for this as well. You'd make a pro list and a con list and then make a decision based on that responsibly. The options that it has here, as you can see, we revolve around a social media world, because the first three options to build something with Spark, to tell your story with Spark, are social media. You can also do a photo collage, a presentation, slideshow, and there's our branded stuff. And so the one that I actually brought you in here for was the presentation. But let's see what happens when we hit this plus sign over here. It gives us the same thing, but it also adds this flyer option, which would be good for reflective journal, making a poster about the student. And then it also adds video. And then it names some things a couple different, but this is exactly the creation, the beginning of showing you what you can do. All right, so basically what I did was I just clicked on the plus sign and then view all, because I knew it wasn't showing us everything, because I've been in here a million times and there's always like a Microsoft way template of looking at all of these things. So I could do a lesson plan video, a report, a poster, and it just breaks it down into stuff. I'm going to choose lesson plan video. And Adobe Sparks on all of these walks you through each step of beginning this. So every great story starts somewhere. So tell us about your ideas or title. You can always change it later. All right, so I'm going to put in here my big decision. Okay, and then I'm going to have an option of a template. I normally don't like to use templates, but this might be a great way for you to organize this for your students, to give them less options, to give them a structure to fill things in. But I'm just going to hit start from scratch and show you the way that you can build this video presentation, this multimedia presentation, to create something wonderful to instruct on responsible decision making. So like I said, it has this easy to use interface where I can add a video, text, photo, or an icon. Up at the top, I have the preview option. So what does it look like in present mode? Sharing it and downloading it. And then it looks like you can also collaborate with other people. As I add things over here, I can alter these things from the menus that appear in this area. So you can see that that went away as soon as I went to theme. Let's see if I can choose, let's choose flare. There we go. I can also change it to purple flare, which I like a little bit better. I can go to resize. I can make it widescreen or a square. Let's leave it wide. I can also add some background music. Okay, that sounds good. So I think I'll add my music. Okay, so I like that. So I think I'm going to just leave that checked and use that one. And I can also put how loud it is and in and out, fade in and out as I'm going through it. But you have other things that you can play with down here and use. Right now I have the check mark next to Woodland Jam. And then the first one was layout, full screen, split screen, caption. Let's go with split screen. Sounds like a good idea. So now something's going to go on this screen, and let's choose a video. Okay, so now over here I can add something else. So I'm going to add some text because it makes sense to add text there. Put a space there, so zooming through. And I can switch these, so I can put the video over here and put the text on the other side. I could have also dragged and dropped. And now, since I have my Woodland music in there, my title, and then I have a video over here, I can hit play. I know they're going to give each of us our own individual. That allows me to add to it. Okay, so there's a microphone option down here. So when I click that, it shows me that, asks me if I can allow Sparks to use its microphone. So I'm going to hit allow. If ever you tell it no, up in the browser area, when you go to that application, it'll have a microphone with a red line through it. You can always click on that and change it if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to play what I have so far. I know they're going to give each person individual. So that's kind of nice introduction. So let me hit this microphone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak over this. So even though she's speaking and I'm speaking, my voice will be louder. So Adobe Spark will make sure that that's good. This is the day in the life of everybody working through Zoom. Okay, so I can record as many times as I want there, but that's only 5 seconds. This is the day in the life of everybody working through Zoom. Okay, so that's a good introduction. Now I'm going to move on and hit the plus sign down here and add another card. I can do the same thing. I can do split screen, full screen, caption, title, whatever I need to do. On this one, I've already added a video. I'm just going to add text. Okay, and then so I'm just going to add another one. I could add some more, and in fact I might. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to click on it and hold that microphone and it'll record a little bit more. Life is great, life is awesome when you're working through everything. Life is great, life is awesome when you're working through everything. Okay. And I don't have a script, so that's why it's coming out kind of bubbly kind of thing. So I'm going to hit the plus sign again, and you can see down here that it's doing everything in the order that it needs to be. So I have my first slide, my second slide, and then if I change my mind, I can move those around as I go. But this one, I want to add a photo. And at this point, I might want to go back to my layout and choose caption. So if I have a caption, now it's going to do a photo here, and then it'll do text down here. So I'm going to choose photo, and I can find free photos so I can search. Remember, this was something that was limited, so a lot of the stuff down here, if I don't have one of these accounts, it's probably not going to work for me. So connect to Google, connect to Dropbox, Creative Cloud, any of these things that you might already have a membership to that you can get a photo from. So I'm going to do upload photo, and I'm going to just choose one of those basic weird ones that I have been. There we go. I'll just see if it'll take a PNG, a ping. And there it is, and now I can record again. While you're at home, you could know it with NWOET. While you're at home, you could know it with NWOET. Not bad for not having a storyboard or anything like that. Now, if I had my students working through this, I definitely would have them do an outline or a storyboard. In fact, our third tool you could use for that. But for the most part, I'm just kind of stumbling through this and making a pretty decent presentation. Now, it doesn't relate directly to responsible decision making. The students could have an issue or a conflict and have to talk through it with the slides, with a collage, with a journal, with a newsletter. Any of these things that can be created within Adobe Sparks will allow them to do that. And I'm going to add one more thing because I think there are some built-in icons. And I'm just going to search. Let's see if there's anything to do with happy. And I'm just going to pull this one in. And I'm done. Now, I did forget to do something on this sheet. I don't think it's going to let me see it anymore. Oh, there it is. So I can click on this plus sign and add some text. And then know it for sure. Okay. And then this one, I could also have a audio on it. Like I said before, I'm going to click and hold on it and then record something. Oh, and it looks like I can put something up here as well. And the layout allows you to add more things to your slide as you go. So I'm just going to put, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for hanging out and listening to my responsible decision-making presentation. It's been great talking to you. Thanks for hanging out and listening to my responsible decision-making presentation. Okay, so now all I have to do is preview it so I can see the whole thing. I'm sure I can hit down, play down here and be able to watch everything. And when I'm ready to share it, I can publish it and pick a category which it goes under. And I really don't want to get noticed, so I'm not going to get noticed. And then I'm just going to create a link. And after it generates the link, I'll just give my students that link in Google Classroom, in my learning management system, in an email, and if I want to post it on a website, I can do that as well. Okay, so here's the link that it gave me and the awesome discovery. I can either just copy it and send it, and it's directly integrated with Google Classroom, which I didn't realize that it was integrated directly to Classroom. I knew that it generated a link for that. And then I can also use it in my Google site. I can embed it into other tools that allow embedding to happen, class network tools. Schoology allows you to embed things. Google Classroom does not, but it will insert it into, I'm guessing an assignment or a material or something of that sort. And if the students are doing this, they probably want to just get the link and then submit it to the teacher. You might find different ways of doing that though. I can download it. And I do know that you can add it directly to your Google Drive and have access to it later to open it back up. So this is an option for students as well. On Chromebooks, if you're using Chromebooks with your students from one-to-one, if it downloads, it goes directly to the file cabinet, and then it's easily uploaded to the teacher, to Google Classroom and whatnot. Now, what it did for me here is it downloaded on my computer. Now I'm on a Macintosh. It would do similarly the same thing on a Chromebook, but laptops is going to put it in your downloads, and then it made it an MP4 that I can put in some kind of multimedia interface that will play a video. All right, so that's roughly Adobe Spark. I think it's a great tool. You have many options. The tools are about the same. It walks you through the same things. It has the same tabular items on the side that you can personalize or customize your presentation, collage, whatnot. But I showed you the video one because I thought that would be nice for skits, for scenarios, to help you with responsible decision making. All right, so thanks, and we'll move on to the next tool.